Hello fellow gamers, welcome to Azreality Gaming. My name is Dustin, and today we're going to be doing a top 5 video of Final Fantasy games. Of course, these are my opinion, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm not going to always have the same opinion as you, but that's okay. I'll tell you what though, if I get at least one of the top 5 right, that's also in your list, then maybe give this video a thumbs up. If I get 3 right in your top 5 list, then maybe subscribe, because chances are you and I probably think alike, and you might like this channel. So come back and see other videos I do upload weekly. And let's get into it. First up at number 5 is Final Fantasy for the NES. I have to pay homage to this game. This game is what really started it for me. This was the first real, open world kind of a RPG style game for the Nintendo system. Of course, there was Dragon Warrior before that, but that was always kind of a first person kind of a view. This one you got to see all the characters on the side screen. You got to see them in action. You got to see them like swing the little axe or swing the little sword or shoot a different fireball or lightning bolt. It was really cool to be able to see your character actually interact with what you choose as the battle commands. It was a very difficult game, right? It gave you the opportunity to roam the world, and if you go too far, monsters get increasingly harder, and you got to step back. There was no hand-holding in this one. There was no rails, if you will. So it just really, I think, kind of started the genre. Again, without this game, there wouldn't be Final Fantasies, let's be honest. So all of them do, we got to give this one credit. So I'm going to put it at my number 5. Next up at number 4 is Final Fantasy X. Now I know this is going to piss a lot of people off because people think that this game could potentially be number 3, 2, and definitely number 1. And I'm not disagreeing with that. This is a great game. I played a lot of it, and I really enjoyed it. There were definitely aspects of this game that I didn't like. I didn't like the side quests and the playing the football or whatever it was. It was like, come on, can I just like play a Final Fantasy game and not have all these different little wonky things to do? But be that as it may, the storyline is what really sets this game apart. The storyline for this is heartbreaking. I mean, it reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy when Aerith dies. Spoiler alert. But the graphics are great, the special effects are good. I really enjoyed the aspect of the skill tree and how it expands out. You're constantly having characters come in and out of your party. This game is again, it's kind of set the genre for the PS2 when it comes to Final Fantasies. Every Final Fantasy after that for PS2, I mean, it came up, it credited to this. So we've got to give it credit again where credit is due. Coming in next at number 3 is Final Fantasy VII, the original for PlayStation 1. This is the only reason why I bought a PlayStation back when I was a kid. This game was the reason. It is, granted the graphics don't hold up, I know that. These little blocky looking characters are kind of funky looking. But the game was so awesome at the time. It really, I mean, this besides Final Fantasy 6/3 for the Super NES, this was the game, right? I mean, this came out and just rocked the genre. It allowed all these different customizations with regards to how you get materia, how you level them up. Let's not forget about the Golden Saucer and the side mission games, trying to get Chocobos, which we know and all hate. That was a painful experience for sure, and some of us didn't even bother doing it. I didn't. I skipped. I did spend about an hour racing Chocobos, and I'm like, oh, fuck this. And I just went through and just beat the game the old-fashioned way. Maybe one of these days I'll go back on Twitch and play it through and get a chance to experience all that, the full experience of Final Fantasy VII. The storyline on this, of course, we know is awesome. The whole love interest there between Aerith and Tifa and Cloud, it's iconic. And then having Sephiroth at in the middle there, just axe her off. That's like, oh my god, I think so many fanboys actually shed a tear and cried during this. So if you're looking for a great content and great storyline, this is gonna solve it for you. Period. End of story. Next up at number 2 is Final Fantasy IX for the PlayStation 1. As far as I'm concerned, and a lot of people out there on the internet, this is one of the best PlayStation Final Fantasies out there. Period. Bar none. The storyline between Zidane, the Vivi and Amarat and Quina, just the character interactions with this is awesome. I personally like the storyline here more than I liked Final Fantasy X. Obviously, that's why I rated it a lot higher. I really also appreciated the return to the kind of the classic element, the true fantasy type element of the game. I was always a big fan of the Black Mages in Final Fantasy 1. That was my main characters. I did a run through one time. It was just 4 Black Mages, which was hella hard but super fun. So having Vivi in this game, man, I maxed him out. It was so much fun to be able to see how powerful he can get. And just the storyline behind him and who his character is. Does he have a soul? And all those kinds of things. This is one of the first Final Fantasies for the PlayStation 1 that I actually beat. I beat 7 after I beat 9. So that should go to say I couldn't put this game down. It's awesome. The graphics actually hold up pretty good today, even on the PlayStation 1, but you can also get an enhanced version on PlayStation 4 as a downloadable copy, or also on Steam, and the graphics are even a little bit more improved there too. If you really like a game that has a good progression, walks you through it, and gives you a great story, this is a great game for you. And again, I think a lot of people are going to agree with me on this one. I could probably rate this one at number 1, but we're going to get into the number 1 spot. So with that being said, my number 1 pick is going to be Final Fantasy III for the Super NES. Not to be confused with the other Japanese version, so I'll just say for the American Super NES, which is actually Japanese 6. Because we didn't have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. All the numbers in between. For you can search that up on the internet yourself as to why. But this game, again, this is kind of like the Final Fantasy 1 in a lot of regards. Without this game, the mechanics that we have today wouldn't exist. The ability to have, like, you do combinations to get the blitz effects in, the roulettes, the gambling option, you got the shadow with the dog. Each character had his own little unique flair to the game and the way he dealt with combat. The game was fun. The whole morphing aspect of some of the characters was super cool. The mimic ability later on. The game just kept going and going and going. I really liked also the aspect of the materia, being able to equip it, max it out, and then put it on another character and use it. It was a lot of fun. This game, the storyline was a lot of fun too. The bad guy is definitely a cool bad guy, right? And you want to beat him. I mean, it's super neat to be able to have him always in your way. Some of the other Final Fantasies, the bad guys are kind of like, wishy-washy, wishy-washy. But this one really, made you want to finish him off for sure. The end battle, of course, with this is epic. I don't want to spoil it for you, but most people probably played it at this point. But that 3-tier system where you got to kill different parts of the end boss at the end. Oh man, I could just play that over and over and over again. The music behind this game is epic. The music stays with you. You've got operas and bands that play this music and sell tickets to it, just to be able to sell, just because it's so awesome. And then whenever, the whole like winning of the battle thing, that sound. Great, man. That just makes me feel so good. I was like, I just got some XP. I just won this battle, and it makes me feel good every single time. I swear, the people that were developing this game, they must have done psychology research on, like, okay, what's the best kind of music we can play to show satisfaction and to help kind of lock in that, because sound and smell also associate with memory and certain actions that you have in your brain. This has to be one of those things where they nailed it on the spot. It definitely sinks in, and it triggers an emotional response that, yes, I want this, I want to do more of this, let's do this again, let's get more XP, let's kill more monsters, and let's hear this music over and over and over again. That reinforces that we're successful. Well, there you have it, the top 5 Final Fantasy games according to me. Did I capture them all correctly? If not, maybe post in the comments below if you think I missed one or you need to highlight a specific one that you think is your favorite. Let's have a conversation about it. And until then, we'll see you guys next time.